Welcome to CISO Chair, where true cyber leadership, real stories, and industry insights take center stage. This is your seat at the table.
In the AI arms race of 2025, nearly half of the global organizations say their top cybersecurity fear is advance of adversarial AI, tools that can automate and personalize deepfakes, social engineering, and malware development at massive scale. As 66% of security leaders expect AI to reshape cyber defense this year, only 37% have procedures to assess security of these AI tools before unleashing them. The battle isn't just about who builds the smartest defense, it's about staying one step ahead of AI powered criminals who are racing to outsmart us all. Hello, I'm your host Ashish, and welcome to another episode of CISO Chair. Today's guest, Dr. MuthuKumaraswamy B, a pioneer in agentic AI, acclaimed for advancing AI ML solutions and shaping cybersecurity strategy. With over 16 years of research, leadership, and innovations, he is recognized for mentoring top talent and translating cutting edge ideas into practical impact. Dr. Muthukumaraswamy's voice stands out in the global conversation on responsible AI, making him a must hear thought leader for anyone navigating the future of cybersecurity. In today's podcast, we'll be exploring AI's impact on cybersecurity, leadership challenges in modern enterprise security, and navigating controversial and tough decisions. Dr. Muthu, if I may call you that, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks.
Sir, so if you could quickly walk us through what got you excited about AI and what led you to do your research in this particular space and create an impact that we see today.
So, in my research and delivery work, I work in the intersection of machine learning models, large language models, agentic AI, and of course, enterprise security. So, when I first saw what AI could do, it felt like magic to me. Imagine a teacher teaching a student and a computer teaching a student, following the set of rules, but also making the computer to think and surprise with the answers. What inspired me to get into this field was the same feeling of curiosity. I kept asking myself, if AI can learn to play games, can it also learn to protect people? Can it also learn to help leaders to make better decisions? Can it also, help people to make the digital world safer? Even today, what excites me the most is AI is like an endless playground of for ideas. Every day there is something new which is coming up, new models, new possibilities, of course tagged with new risks. And I feel I am lucky that my works let me explore, build, and guide people with AI. That's how I got into it.
Thank you for that. And how do you define the role of AI, particularly agentic AI, in transforming cybersecurity defenses today?
See, AI is always like your extra brain for the security team. It does not get tired, it does not miss out signals, and it can act fast. Agentic AI takes this further. It can look into the data, it can connect the dots, even act on threats before the team on the ground sees them. This means security becomes faster and stronger, and people can focus on the bigger picture instead of chasing the alerts.
And given your work with large language models and AI, what are the biggest risks AI introduces to security, in your opinion?
Yes, this is one thing which I time and again get asked for in terms of the risks. The same AI that helps us defend can also be used by attackers. When I mean attackers, hackers can still use AI to write smart phishing emails, create fake content, or build new kind of attacks. Another risk is trusting AI too much. If we let AI act without checking, act without the checkpoints, and there could be mistakes which can spread fast. That is why I always make it very clear that you need that human oversight, or We typically call it human in the loop, and stronger testing before anything on the AI is rolled out.
And again, in your opinion, how should CISOs, security leaders, or technology leaders in general balance AI's promise against its potential to be weaponized by attackers, like you mentioned?
Right. So in terms of, this is a very tricky thing which happens in terms of the balance, in terms of what people do. It's always a tension. So my principle, security must not come with a cost of human, meaning, we must back privacy, transparency, and accommodating into the AI systems from day one. So that becomes the balance. So security without privacy is control. Privacy without security is weak. So we must hit this balance between these two. That means using AI in the way that is open, explainable, and respectful of people's rights. So leaders must show what protection is trust and is most important, protecting systems.
That's a very interesting analogy with which you explained. So thanks for that. And any governance frameworks or policies that you would recommend for the use of responsible AI or secure AI deployment in security or in a tech landscape?
So when you see governance policies, so it's all about making sure the explainability and trust factor. So the moment AI becomes explainable, it becomes trustable. So explaining and trusting the system is most. The moment you start giving explanations, people start trusting it. Once trust comes into factor, AI systems make sure it delivers what it needs to deliver.
And what are some common strategic mistakes you see leaders making today when integrating emerging AI technologies in security or technology stack or
Yes,
environment?
that's a very interesting question. So I see, some organizations or some leaders treat AI like magic. So they think you just plug it in, the job is done. But AI needs training, AI needs monitoring, the right people to use it. Another mistake which I have seen in common, people forget this explainability which I was talking to about. So if you cannot explain what AI does, you cannot trust it fully. And that is where the whole challenge comes in. So making sure you train properly, you monitor it properly, give it to the right set of hands. AI will always be your best friend.
And you did talk about certain challenges, but again, how does that position enterprises today in India and globally, in your opinion, to handle
See,
AI driven the cyber landscape change and the cyber threats today?
so big tech companies are actually getting ready and they are almost there. So many smaller firms are still catching up. If you say in India, the interest is very high, but the budget still is growing. So the truth is, no one is fully ready. Attackers move fast, so we must learn and adapt even faster.
And what do you think, or what is your opinion on the availability of talent or skill set for addressing these challenges that you mentioned?
So there's a wide there's a wide talent pool available. So tapping the right talent and nurturing them is very important. And today we can see a lot of institutions in India have a separate course for AI security, which is very good and which is making me happy that people are taking this very seriously and learning it. So I think the talents are coming out which strengthens on learning about security. So we are right there.
Understood. Do you have any opinion or thought on how can leaders and organization future proof them beyond the current threat landscapes?
So don't just be prepared for one kind of an attack. So you'll have to build systems that can learn, update, and improve over time. And most importantly, training teams to work with AI, not against AI. So sharing knowledge, which I always keep talking about, sharing knowledge with the culture inside the team, inside the companies, and in different forums is very, very important. So this is one thing which will make sure we win. No one wins alone. So hence, this is a game where all of us should play together.
Sir, I have a tricky question coming up. There's a debate about AI ethics and mass surveillance. How do you reconcile security needs with privacy rights in your leadership approach?
That's a good question. So security without privacy is control. Privacy without security is weak. So we must find the balance. That means using AI in a way that is open, again, explainable, respectful of the people's right. This is very important. And this will make the overall ethics, surveillance, and privacy stronger and balanced.
And just curious to also know what is your stance on increasing use of AI by governments and enterprises for cyber offense? Are we entering a dangerous arms race?
So, this, I mean, see what happens today is in general, this, I don't see any specific race which is happening, but the very important point is AI is smart with data, but humans bring in the context, value, strategy. So there should be teams inside the company, inside the governance people who take care of this and take it further, which is very important. And that will help in the growth of the security and make sure people understand it. And I care about trust, which definitely brings into.
So we already know the world is talking about AI on all fronts, right? And there was some report I think that I bumped into, was it by Gartner or Forrester, which says that 95% of these AI projects do not see closure or do not see delivery or value or the day of the light, like I was trying to mention earlier. What is your thought and opinion on why do so many projects that start do not eventually translate into meaningful products, solutions, services to provide actual value to the organization? And how does one interpret these statistics and where do we go from here?
Yes, I also keep seeing these kind of reports which keep coming in and all this. But most of the work which we do in the AI and the cybersecurity is actually behind the scenes. And honestly, that is the beauty of it. But now the whole challenge. So this 95% of the projects which don't see the limelight. So the challenge is people don't put the right use of AI in the right place. So I always, used to say an analogy that you cannot expect a fish to climb a tree and a monkey to swim. So both fail. So what happens is people are in a race of using AI term or AI features everywhere. So when it does not fit the right place, obviously the project does not take its flight, and hence you see a lot of this happening in today's market. So hence we need to make sure we make the right use of the right projects in AI, which will definitely make it successful.
I also wanted to know on your approach or how would you deal with internal resistance when pushing for cutting edge but potentially intrusive AI security solutions?
I mean, the only threat is the awareness. So as I was just mentioning earlier, the awareness inside and within the org and the team has to be brought up the curve. The moment you are aware, I think it becomes easier for you to adapt and grow.
So, what drives your personal passion for AI and cybersecurity, and more importantly, how do you keep evolving your leadership style in this fast changing domain?
Okay, as I was telling, so AI is always like magic. So my passion is curious on the impact it brings. So as I was growing up as a child, I usually love solving puzzles. So AI, is like a bigger puzzle of our time. How how to make machines not just smarter but useful and safe for people. So that is the challenge which keeps me driving. So now what keeps me going is the impact. Knowing that the work we do can protect trust, unlock innovations, and shape up the future of the business and the society. And I read, I research. Most importantly, I try to be with the younger minds today. So that experiments, with new tools and things like that keeps me driving, keeps me updated. So leadership for me is not just knowing everything, but about learn faster, adapt, and guide others with clarity. So this is what leadership is.
And can you share a challenging leadership decision you made related to AI or security that shaped your current philosophy?
Okay. So there was a time, I decided whether to deploy an AI model whose accuracy was high, but, whose explainability was weak. So some of the team members pushed me to kind of deploy it quickly for the advantage. Others resisted with the risk. So I paused, delayed the full rollout, then built in a explainability wrapper around it, and then deployed it gradually. This taught me a kind of a caution and making sure it is responsible. So I now lead with the principle of advance, but with humility and explainability.
And how do you cultivate innovation and ethical responsibility within your team or the community in general?
So cultivating this is, I be a part of a lot of forums where we keep discussing, making sure we share the challenges. Sharing is the only way in which we can cultivate innovation, we can bring in. So innovation comes when people see problems. So staying in isolation, I might not be aware of different things. So staying in forums, staying in groups gives you a wider view of what's going around, which will cultivate your innovation to grow.
So I think with that said, we'll quickly jump into the signature rapid fire round. So there are some questions coming your way, starting with AI's greatest promise for cybersecurity in one word, in your opinion. What would that be?
Resilience.
Okay, interesting. And AI's biggest threat in one word?
Weaponization.
So how do you look at automation? Friend or a foe?
Friend, if guided well.
And should hacking be legalized as a training method?
Yes, but with strict rules.
Your go-to leadership mantra?
Clarity builds trust.
In your opinion, can AI ever fully replace human judgment in technology or cybersecurity decision making? Why or why not?
Now, this is an interesting thing, which I again keep getting asked every time. Will AI replace humans? AI is powerful, but it is not human. It can process data, find patterns, act fast, but it does not have the value, empathy, or judgment, which only human have. So this is very important. So, I don't see AI ever replacing humans. I see it partnering with humans. The future is not whether it is an AI or a human. It is all about AI and human working together. That balance is what exists, and it will come in the future.
Thank you for all your insights and time, Dr. Muthu. So, any quick closing word before we wrap up the conversation?
Always remember, AI can do tasks but not carry value or empathy. That is why it can never replace humans.
Thank you again for that. And I would take this opportunity to also invite our listeners to explore Dr. Muthu's work on LinkedIn and Medium. And, sir, is there any other platform where someone can follow your work?
No, LinkedIn and Medium are pretty perfect.
Thank you so much once again for all your time and inputs.
Thank you so much for this session.
Thanks for joining CISO Chair. Subscribe for global perspectives and bold conversations on cybersecurity. Stay secure, stay inspired. See you in the next episode.